The Seahawks looked unimpressive against the Denver Broncos on Sunday. Here's what the national media thought of their 27-24 opening weekend defeat. Does it mean anything that there wasn't a whole lot of chatter about the Seahawks on Monday morning after the NFL's opening weekend? Perhaps. Seattle projects more as a rebuild project than as a Super Bowl contender. But maybe, the lack of interest in Seattle's 27-24 defeat in Denver had absolutely nothing to do with the Seahawks' lack of star power this season, and everything to do with Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers' latest comeback miracle finish. ESPN's Brady Henderson's takeaway from the 27-24 loss was Earl Thomas's obvious importance to Seattle's D. Earl Thomas's importance to the Seahawks defense, especially in its current state, was clear in Seattle's 27-24 loss to Denver. The All-Pro free safety, who returned Wednesday from his holdout, had an interception that set up the Seahawks' first touchdown, another pass breakup and 5 tackles. Seattle's defense is inexperienced and has a major question mark with its pass rush. All of those issues were evident in this game. Just imagine where that group would be without its best playmaker holding down the back end. Bleacher Report's Mike Tanier was impressed with tight end Will Dissly's 105-yard, 1-TD performance. He also gave Defensive Player of the Week to Von Miller with his 3 sacks of Russell Wilson. Dissly looked like the second coming of Mark Bavaro on a 66-yard catch and run. He also caught a 24-yard pass and a 15-yard touchdown. The 4th-round pick left college with a reputation as a blocking tight end, the kind that teams draft after watching Jimmy Graham escort defenders into the backfield for a few years. It figures that the team that can never draft offensive linemen who can block finally somehow stumbled into a tight end who can catch by looking for one who could block. CBS Sports' John Breach gives the Seahawks a B in his weekly NFL grades feature. One of the biggest problems the Seahawks needed to fix this offseason was their offensive line, and if week 1 is any indication, that definitely didn't happen. Russell Wilson got sacked 6 times, and that number might have actually doubled if Wilson wasn't so athletic. The Seahawks also might be regretting dumping Stephen Hauschka after watching Sebastian Janikowski miss a 46-yarder against the Broncos. In case you're wondering, Breach gave the Broncos a B. If this grade was for Von Miller alone, it would be an A, and that's because Miller terrorized the Seahawks. The Broncos star racked up 3 of Denver's 6 sacks. The Broncos defense proved that it's still one of the best in the NFL. Besides the 6 sacks, the Broncos also held the Seahawks to just 64 rushing yards and a 2 of 12 showing on 3rd down. It's a good thing the Broncos defense brought their A game, because Case Keenum didn't. In his debut with Denver, Keenum had some ups, 329 yards, 3 touchdowns, and some downs, 3 interceptions. In his Football Morning in America column, Peter King writes, "Another year, another disaster of an offensive line for Seattle. It's John Schneider's Achilles." The story out of Denver in Albert Breer's Monday morning quarterback wasn't the Seahawks, but Case Keenum's performance against them. Case Keenum threw 3 picks, so his Broncos debut certainly wasn't perfect. But you have to like the way Keenum kept swinging. His teammates certainly did. "We're not going to get down, that's Case, that's some of us other players as leaders on this team," receiver Demaryius Thomas told the Denver media. "Forget those things and play on. That's going to be our personality. We're not going to carry all that negative stuff around with us." On the game-winning drive against Seattle, Keenum was nails, 4 for 4 for 39 yards and the clinching touchdown. Now see how the Seahawks graded out in the eyes of Seattle Times beat writer Bob Condotta.